Boss, let's start the poll question. Is it hard to bounce? Hold on, y'all misspelled something. All right. So it's a Sunday morning. As y'all can see, it's been raining, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So yeah, man, we out up early Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna ask: is it hard to bounce back from the same thing? Whatever it is, it could be whatever. But is it hard to bounce back from the same thing? Um, I left the other stand at the house, so we just gonna try to make it do what it do with this one. So when we talk about bouncing back from things, we talking about financial things, mental things, anything that requires you to have to bounce back over and over. Like for example, if you help friends or family out of situations, monetary situations, and they never pay you back, do you help them again? You know what I'm saying? It's real different and difficult to, I guess, sometimes for people to say no to people. Um, there'll come a moment where you ain't got no option but to say no to people. Like, I realize that as we grow, that many people will always have an opinion of what happens as you grow as a person, as you grow into who it is you trying to become or what you'll become. But when you monetary, when you like help people too many times, is your bounce back different? Most of the time, people will ask you for favors. I'll pay you back. I swear, man, I'll pay you back. You got to be cautious of those people because you might be putting yourself in a situation where you can't bounce back every time as easy as you did the first time. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes very difficult for people to understand why people start to use the word no a lot. When you have to bounce back continuously from things, you have to realize that if it's getting harder and harder for you to bounce back, when do you stop? Like, when do you stop trying to bounce back from pain and suffering? And when do you bounce back from helping every family member, every friend? When do you say, I'm not bouncing back like I used to, so I have to like step away? Now, are people going to come to you and say, and a lot of y'all know this, their favorite slogan is, I know you got it. But yeah, if I got it, that don't mean you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what it took for me to get to it. You know what I'm saying? So, do a lot of people become bitter? Do a lot of people start saying, man, you changed? Absolutely, I changed because my bounce back ain't the same. Like, and I feel like if you, let's just give an example. Somebody asks you to help pay their rent, right? And it's going to cost you not to be able to feed yourself. I believe that you need to understand that your bounce back is different. You gonna starve. They gonna have somebody living there that can help them pay bills, right? But your bounce back is different. So a lot of people will say, "Well, God would want you to help me." Well, He ain't deliver that message to me. He ain't deliver that message to me, like, so I can't help you. It's a lot of people in this world that will say, "I don't even know how I got to this point." Yeah, you do. It's called not budgeting. It's called being lazy. It's called depending on others. It's a real thing. And the sad part about it is most of the time we self-inflict that on ourselves. Like most of the time we'll give everybody everything knowing we don't got it. And then when we go and ask people to assist us, they be like, I ain't got it right now. Knowing damn well they ain't never got it, right? But sometimes you gotta test those who test you, right? Me, I don't mind if I lose friends and family member over the word I ain't got it or no. I don't mind because that means you not gonna ask me again. You know what I'm saying? And it's different when you base things accordingly. Sometimes the worst thing in the world is for somebody to have it and then they tell you no just to see how you gonna respond to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the hospital. All right, Miss Charlotte, we hope that you get better. You know, we gonna pray for you. You know what I'm saying? We hope you get better. We hope it ain't too serious. I want y'all to know every time somebody comes in here and they going through something, I want all y'all to really, really find in your hearts to like pray for them or wish them the best. You know what I'm saying? Because prime example, just a simple shout out can make a person's day. And I hope your bounce back is incredible, Miss Charlotte. I hope it really is. So what we do here is we try to bounce back quick, right? You ever been in a situation and you know you need to take time to figure it out, but you'll rush it. You'll try to bounce back from it like quickly because you feel like situations around you require that. You gotta be able to bounce back and be able to say, man, I'm not going through that again. That don't make you heartless. That don't make you selfish. That just means that you took a different route. You know, don't always be so quick to say, man, I see what other people got. I see how other people living. I don't know why I can't be in that situation because your bounce back didn't require you to be in that situation. Your bounce back told you that you were supposed to have it when it was time for you to have it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I see people who jealousy supersedes their honesty. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody's jealousy supersedes their honesty, you gotta understand that they're not really for you. You'll run into situations where if I tell you, hey man, I need you to understand where I'm coming from, and you don't understand where I'm coming from, there's a problem. There's a problem there. It can be anything that can hold a person back from being successful. If you don't got it, just say you don't got it. You don't gotta listen to every excuse why. When you tell somebody you ain't got it, their excuse is like, well, why you ain't got it? Well, why you don't got it? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta just hit a person's question with their own question. Why you ain't got it? Why I always gotta have it for everybody, right? And that's what I mean by your bounce back. You gotta be able to say, I'm good with me. I'm good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't always have to be on somebody else's time. A lot of people would tell you in your lifetime, like, man, I remember when you was little, I looked out for you. You were supposed to. You were supposed to look out for me when I was little. That's what requires my my come up is for me to learn from the people ahead of me. Nowhere in the book do it say once I get to where I'm at, I have to look out for you now. Nowhere does it say that. Now, there are certain rules to that. If your grandparents or your uncles or aunts looked out for you when you were older and you couldn't look out for yourself, then yeah, your bounce back got to be the gift back. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of y'all just don't understand and comprehend that people will just use you to use you. That's just what it is. I just had a conversation with one of my nephews and had to tell him, like, hey man, look, your bounce back ain't looking good because you keep trying to save the world. So your bounce back ain't looking good. You know what I'm saying? Like the jealousy and the envy and the hatred that people got for you is when you trying to save everybody. You'll never be happy. And he looked at me through the phone. We was FaceTime, and he was like, "Dang, Unc, why you say it like that?" Because man, everybody got family. Everybody got family. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta let your family stumble and fall so they know how to get back up on their own 2 feet. It just happens that way. It happens that way. They bounce back gotta be so good that they don't need nobody else. They know, hey man, if I got God and I can get up and go and do this, and that, then I'm straight. I'm straight. You don't have a good bounce back if you always the person providing for everybody. Because then when do you get a chance to sit still and say, you know what, I'm good over here? You don't. You're always trying to help everybody else. A lot of things is materialistic things to people. Like they just feel like if you got it, they should have it. I don't feel that way at all. I don't feel like I feel like if I'm not causing your destruction, I'm not going to aid in your rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? Due to the fact of every time you rebuild somebody, they act brand new every time, every single time. See, people don't understand. Like people good with or without you. It's just up to what level without you are they good at. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit down and be like, man, I went through the harshest times by myself, nobody was there, but you bounced back by yourself because nobody was there to interfere in your bounce back because nobody was there to block your blessing on life. And yeah, do people tell me all the time like say that sometimes like you just be too blunt. Well, I'm sorry if me sugarcoating it is not the way I want to roll through life. I don't want to sugarcoat happiness and sugarcoat reality for anybody. That's not how it works. When you when you sit still and you're just like, you know what, I'm better than what you think because I went through so much, I was able to bounce back. But I don't have to keep bouncing back from the same exact thing. Like some of y'all be going through stuff with the person you with, and you can't bounce back because they always reminding you of what was. Stop allowing them to remind you of things. If they not happy with you, tell them to go ahead and move forward in their life. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to. You don't have to surrender your happiness and dignity for somebody else's approval. You don't have to do that because they keep bouncing back, making you miserable. You don't gotta do that. I don't care how long you been with a person. If they not understanding, what's up? How you doing, man? If they not understanding that the actual and factual things of life are caused by growth, sometimes you're not going to end up with the same people you started with. You know what I'm saying? You not going, like everybody knows a tree and leaves, they start together, but they don't end together. You got to understand that same philosophy. Some of y'all people got to understand your bounce back is stop being fake. Some of y'all go to church all the time, be in church all the time, listening to the pastor. Da, da, da. Soon as you leave church, you back to the same old you talking about I'm just human. I'm a holy person, but you know I'm not perfect. Okay, cool. Well, don't be a fake person either. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be trying to tell everybody else how to live their life and better their life and bounce back from what they going through, and you can't even bounce back from what you going through. It just happens that way. It happens, and a lot of people take offense to what we say when it's time to be honest. Being honest is not a bad thing. Being honest will get you through a lot of things. Like I'm blunt. I'm blunt. If I don't deal with you, I don't deal with you. If I don't like you, I don't like you. I don't try to act like it. But one thing I won't do is let somebody continuously put me in a situation where I feel like I'm doubting me. See, because you can only bounce back so many times from the same situation before it eventually take a burden on you. It'll take a toll on you. It just works that way. Where if you just take time out for yourself to realize that like where you come from is not where you need to stay. If you from the projects, the ghetto, poverty, and you working yourself up to mid class, and your goal is to be at the upper echelon, Sometimes you got to leave those who are stuck in their own ways behind. That don't make you a bad person. That just means you don't reach the plateau in your life where it's time for you to move forward and build. There's a moment where you have to let people understand that nothing you do for yourself is going to ever benefit somebody else if you see them standing in the same spot when you left them when you were younger. It just becomes very, very different when people expect things from you and then you start to question, should you give them that what they're expecting, should you hand that to them? The answer to that question is no. Nobody owes you anything. Let me see. Do you think you need faith to be a good person? I think that you need to walk with faith. I believe like you can be a good person and not attend church service, but faith is very different than religion too. I believe if you have faith in God, you're a good person off gate. Just have faith in what you should have faith in. Because some people have faith, but they don't practice being a good person. You understand what I'm saying? Like you can have faith all day, but if you don't practice good habits is what they're called. Then what difference does you have faith? You have faith that somebody gonna get you through something. Sometimes you just look. So look at it like this: when you were growing up, you believed everything your parents told you. You believed them. You had faith in them. You told them that everything they did was perfect, and then you found out that mistakes happened. So then your faith in them became a little bit less and less. Like, man, I don't know if I can really believe in you. Like, what you told me wasn't, ain't adding up, right? So now when we talk to our kids or we talk to our friends and family members, we have to be a little bit more hesitant on how we deliver something to them because they'll believe in everything. They'll have faith in us. We human, right? That's what everybody's go-to is when they mess up. Well, I'm a human. I'm gonna make mistakes. I see you, Memphis. I see you, Bleak. I see you. I see you. But a lot of things is built on how you portray yourself to be. Some people don't understand like the least amount of people you have around you, the better off your life is. You ever see somebody who got too many people around them? They believe in that person. They have faith in that person. You know what I'm saying? But when they fail, they need you to help them bounce back. And if you don't have the funds or the mental capacity to help them bounce back, guess what? You failed. You have to reach a higher level of success by knowing that not everybody that you start with, you're going to finish with. Every time y'all put a new person in y'all circle, you got a bigger problem because now you got to figure out if you can trust that same person. Cool. I bounce back from what I'm supposed to bounce back from. New adventures. I'm not going to bounce back from the same nonsense because I'm not going to be in the same nonsense. You know what I'm saying? You bump your head, you like, oh man, I bumped my head. You bump it again, you gonna have to start paying attention to how hard you hit it the second time around. You bump it a third time, you might need to see a doctor because you ain't getting it. You might got a bad equilibrium going on up in there. I'm just saying, it's a tad bit different. And how you move says a lot about who you are as a person. It's a lot of people right now. Like, what's the big thing? The whole presidential thing is the big thing. Trump, Harris, you know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all stop having so much faith that all these things are going to come to fruition, like things are going to change and all that. Change happens from the people, not one person. Changes happen from the people. The United States is in the worst shape it's ever been in. And I'm being 100% honest with y'all. I love my country. But the bounce back we have to come back to now is like we gotta go back when it made sense. We ain't really made sense since probably Bill Clinton. Every time you turn around, we helping everybody else. Every time you turn around, we trying to solve everybody else's problem. I'm trying to figure out when we gonna solve our own problem because our bounce back ain't what it used to be. It was a time where people had to respect us with the understanding that we get busy. Everybody, even if three or four nations gathered together and try to come at us, they knew better. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how you see being real as husband. Okay, so let's talk about it. If you a real like if you the realest person, not the realest, but let's say you just a real person, right? A real person been through some things that it ain't gonna want nobody else to go through. So when you faithful to a person, you don't have to question their loyalty. You don't even gotta question if they real to you. They might not be real to nobody else, but their loyalty and everything is based on being real to you. You know what I'm saying? So when you the realest person, like I got about one friend that's real. I don't have to question his faithfulness. I don't have to question his loyalty. I ain't gotta question nothing. He just that dude. And then I got people around me who I in my past they ain't around me now, but in my past I used to have to question their loyalty. They see a real person don't gotta tell you they real. They actions show you they real. A real person you ain't gotta question if they faithful or whatever because they actions gonna show you they faithful. It's just like it's almost like this. You ever just been by yourself? Are you real enough to yourself to be honest to yourself? Most people can't even be real to themselves. Most people can't even tell themselves something and stand on it. They can't even stand on it. Because in order to be real to yourself means you gotta admit and come to grips with the mistakes that you make daily. Daily. Person say, man, how can I trust somebody? You let somebody talk long enough, they'll tell you all you need to know about them. Just let them talk. Somebody will come to you and be like, man, you don't need everybody else. All you need is me. First of all you need is God. Because you can't put your trust in no man. Because why? Because mistakes happen. Because people can turn on you on a drop of a dime. The biggest thing is like when somebody owe you something is when it's tested. The faithfulness is tested. Is when somebody owe you something. 9 times out of 10, people fall out over money or relationships that ain't even got nothing to do with them. You understand what I'm saying? So when we sit back and we say, well, look, I've seen a man say he been married 38 years to his wife, 38, and told me in 38 years he only trusted her for 2 years. I said 2 years out of 38. I said, how does that make sense? He said, I trust her to do what she gonna do. That's why you can't sit down and put your trust in somebody and it just be like, I know they're never gonna mess up. They gonna mess up somewhere. It might not be adultery or nothing like that, but they gonna mess up somewhere. It just happens that way. But what we do understand is that most people will tell you, I live a certain life that I've come accustomed to, and I'll do whatever I gotta do to maintain it. What you need to pay attention is that last little section that they said, I'll do whatever I gotta do to maintain it. And they mean that. They mean that. Some of y'all fellas walking around right now trying to figure out why you always got to hear about things that ain't got nothing to do with your current situation. It's because, man, people don't want to see you grow. Some of you women had bad reputations back in the day, and you're not even that same person no more. But people, every time they see you, they think that. It's up to you to change the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Some men used to be ladies' men and all that. and they just decided like that ain't for me no more. I just want to sit down and be at home. I want to relax. Some women used to want to be in the club and be seen all the time. Sometimes you gotta sit back and relax. Man, you're lucky enough to have those kind of people in your life who you can trust. Not everyone going through the same. No, no, no. I said I got one person I can trust. I don't trust everybody in my circle. I ain't supposed to. I'm supposed to look at them and be like, "You're here. I know you got a use for something. I know you're good for something. Like if a fight jump off, I know you good to get down. You ain't gonna let nothing happen. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. I don't expect them to trust me with everything they got. But if you got that one person, everybody got that one person that they can like that's they go to. One person is more than enough. If that one person been solid with you, y'all's whole journey, absolutely. And everybody in this world got that one person. Everybody. You just gotta find out who it is. You know what I'm saying? One thing I tell y'all out here is like stop trusting in people who you ain't never seen handle their own business. Stop trusting in people that every time you turn around, they got something new to say. If you got a paper cut, they got stabbed. If you tripped and fell, they fell off a cliff. Stop trying to play. Stop hanging around people that feel like they gotta one up you every time. You know what I'm saying? You got a station wagon on white walls. They got a Dodge Charger on 24s. You understand what I'm saying? Watch them kind of people, man. Them kind of people, the ones that you gotta stay clear of. And sometimes you gotta just hold good news to yourself. Sometimes you gotta hold good news to yourself, cause not everybody cheering for you. Not everybody hoping your bounce back was supposed to be success. Sometimes you just gotta look at it and say, you know what? I know that I'm good where I'm at right now. Let me cheer for me for a while. Sometimes you're gonna have to stop cheering for people who expect you to cheer for them. Because not everybody is gonna be in the same place as you. If I'm cheering for me, I'm good for me. You ever see somebody mad at you because you went and bought you some shoes and you didn't grab them none? Or you went and bought you something to eat and they was with you and you didn't offer them nothing because I'm not paying for you to eat. I need to see your struggle. I need to see how you get out of hard times. But it happens. The worst thing in the world is for somebody to look at somebody else's success and be envious of it. You can't be that way. But you don't have to let nobody make you live in what you once was. See, a person that takes steps like, let me give you a prime example. Like a month already, I went and bought my car like a month ago. I've never bought a car from a car lot ever. I always go on this offer up and get my cars because my cars last 5, 6, 10 years before I need another car. I just recently went and purchased a new car, and let me tell you something. Not everybody was cheering for me. Not everybody was happy I went and got it. Anytime somebody questioned why you did something and you was happy about it when you did it, they not really for you. They was wondering why they wasn't included. Sometimes you gotta cheer for yourself. Sometimes you gotta advocate for yourself. Sometimes you gotta just tell people like, look, I'm in a space where I'm doing this for me. I'm good for me. Even at work, be careful who you tell your business to. Because I'm the type of person like, I might tell a person something at work just to see if they gonna run and tell it. Because you gotta be careful like who you when you at work with people who you rock with. Because some people really wait for your position. They really want to see if they could get in where they don't really fit in. They just don't want you to have that position. It's just like life experiences has always taught us like some people don't even want what you want. They just don't want you to have it because they didn't bounce back from somebody doing it to them. You feel me? So There's moments where you have to be 100% in tune with who you are. Now, are you? That's not to say you're not gonna slip and fall. Get back up. Get back up. If you went down a bumpy road and you knew that bumpy road was gonna tear your car up, guess what? Find another avenue. Find another avenue. It's easier for you to say, "Man, this is hard. I don't know what to do," versus saying it's hard. Let me figure it out. Sometimes stop asking people for their advice. Sometimes your first instinct is your best instinct. You gotta sometimes go with it. Some of y'all will sit there and fight and put up with some stuff, man, that I'll be like, damn, couldn't be me. But I don't know the backstory. When you don't know the backstory is when you be like, oh, that couldn't be me. That couldn't be me. Hell no. But you have to be prepared to take everything you've learned in life and make it work for you. You have to be prepared for that. You have to be willing to say, even in my darkest hour, I'm good. Because I know I'm gonna bounce back because God just gonna do me like that. Some of y'all gotta understand life though. Life don't require you to take care of everybody else's life. Life is just not required for that. When you guys are looking at yourself every morning, man, tell yourself, yo, what am I doing today that I didn't do yesterday? What am I doing today? If I just sat on the porch and smoked and drank all day yesterday and I didn't elevate in any kind of way, should I do the same thing today? No. Every day you should be on a mission to be a better person. Every day you should be on a mission to elevate who you are. Regardless of who told you like, oh nah dog, that ain't you. Nah man, you ain't gonna be able to make that happen. You need to have enough faith in you to know that you good with you. Get in tune with your star players, they say. See, everybody else is supposed to downgrade what you want to do so they can upgrade where they want to be. See, nobody want competition. Nobody want competition. Why you think your bounce back so slow right now? Because you like, oh, let me help such and such. Let me do for such and such. But you ain't doing for you, your star player. You ain't doing for you. And when you ain't doing for you, that's bad business. That's bad business. Because when you down and out, ain't nobody coming to your rescue. You've seen it. You've been through it. I just told my family the other day. I said, let me tell y'all something. Everybody that's smiling your face ain't happy for you, and everybody that stand behind you ain't standing with you. It's just facts. We have to be more conscious of understanding what people will go through and what people will tolerate. That's two different things. What you go through might not be something I'm gonna tolerate long term. Dig me. If you see somebody going through something and you always bailing them out, did they learn? Not at all. They just know you, the ATM, and you gonna get them out of it. What happens when you go bankrupt? You have to be prepared for that. Be prepared for the mission that you're on. And if you want to be great, be great. And if you can't be, find a way where you can be. Stop always trying to be the center of attention, sometimes move in silence. The best advice I ever was told was called to move in silence. Because when you move in silence, people got to make up what you doing after that. They got to make it up. Stop questioning you and stop understanding and start understanding who you really are as a person. You did. Because at the end of it all, Somebody gotta win. Why not it? Why not let it be you? Let's check out the poll. Let's see what people said on the poll. Is it hard to bounce back from the same thing? 83% of y'all said, well, I'm sorry, it just changed up. No. 83% of y'all said yes. 23% of y'all said no. You see what I'm saying? It's a little different. It's a little different. Everybody, if 70% of y'all said it's hard to bounce back, then it's hard to bounce back. It's definitely hard to bounce back. It changed up. 76% of y'all said yes, and 23% of y'all said no. So let me give y'all some insight. I have another website on here called the Carter Podcast. Right, we're on this one in the morning. We're gonna be on that one in the afternoon from now on. So if y'all can just type in DA Carter Podcast and go over there in the afternoon. Like start following me over there. We're gonna be on there starting today. We're gonna be over there in the evening, and it's a little bit more it's a little bit more disrespectful over there though. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna let over here. I'm a little bit more like it's in the morning. Got good people in the morning. Got older crowd over there. It's a little bit more disrespectful. People just speak their mind over there. So come on over there this afternoon. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm on over there. All right, man. Well, I'm about to head out. Get this Sunday morning started. God bless all y'all and be straight. You heard? Peace.